Hello and welcome to FinextraTV. I'm Alex Lipich, and you kindly join us at the Communify Fincentric Experience here in Miami. And I'm very pleased indeed to be kindly joined by Yaela Shamberg of Communify Fincentric here in the studio. Yaela, it's great to have you here.
Thanks for having me, Alex.
Absolute pleasure. You enjoying the event so far?
I am. You know what? These things always bring such great energy. There's nothing like bringing a group of people together that just have their own ideas and their own experiences and opinions and just like being in the same room together.
All about the energy, all about the buzz, and you can feel that, like you say.
Absolutely, absolutely.
We're going to be talking about product development.
Okay, the other most exciting topic. Yes,
exactly, yeah. Now that process, I'm sure you'd agree, involves a lot of decision making, key decisions.
Yeah.
What is it that is driving those key decisions nowadays compared with, say, a year ago? Let's start there.
Okay, I mean, quite a few, right? There's a lot of things that are different if I look back at 1 year ago, 3 years ago, et cetera. I think technology is driving it, right? The pace in which we're moving, so that's one factor. So the pace in which we're moving and that we're expected to move, both as an organization, but also how we serve our clients and their expectation. You know, years ago, like technology it was call it 5-10 years, it would kind of change any major digital transformation. Then it was kind of more of a 3 to 5 year timeline of expectation. And now we're really looking at like an 18-month plus cycle. So clients are looking to bring out new technology essentially annually, which means it needs to be thought through, it needs to be ready, it needs to be scalable, and it needs to be mature and like ready, like road tested for the market. So I think some of the key factors when I think about product development, which is how do we achieve those things for our clients? How do we bring maturity into their hands? How do we help them evolve incrementally instead of what used to be like this kind of mass technological revolutions, which were messy? Whereas now it's a very evolutionary pace. How do you keep moving forward and help them evolve? And so what I like to do is think about componentizing things. I think about ways in which technology can almost be, have really fixed boundaries so that you know what it is, you know what it does, and how it plays with other technology. And so you can easily plug things in and use it without having to look across and imagine like an entire digital transformation. And so I think that's one of the biggest drivers, which is pace. And then the factors that feed into the pace. And then ultimately, I think also there's a lot of visual trends, and it's not just the visualizations, it's how people consume data. So now when we think about product development, how do people want to consume data? It used to be if we go way back, it was a fax machine, right? Or mail or post or whatever. And then it became a digital experience in a portal, and now we're a very mobile-centric society. So you have to think about visualizations and consuming data and the right type of data and the right level or quantity of data in a mobile experience. And it's not just visualizations now. Now we're talking about how do you understand structured and unstructured data as well. So whether it's a document or graphical information, or even a chat, or a personalized podcast, things like that. Those different mediums, I would say, are another big driver in when we sit back and we think about what we're developing, what we're building, what we're taking to market for our clients.
Amazing just how technology has evolved. You talked about the advancements in technology and the integration of it as well. Data.
Yes.
Also a huge topic.
I'm a data dork, so like I'm so into it, yes.
So people are talking about it, especially at the event here as well. How do organizations specifically manage these vast amounts of data, do you think? Because there's a lot of it, right?
Yeah, there's so much, and there's more and more, right? Every day, just terabytes and terabytes of data are being created. And part of it, I think, our human challenge is to understand the information from the noise. And all of that's comprised of data. So the old way of looking at data was like, here you have data, put it all together, and then see if you can do something with it. And where we've evolved to is you take data and you try and make information, right? So that was if we look a couple of years back. Now we're in an era of insights. How do we take information and derive insights? And those insights are for everyone, right? For investors, investment professionals, all the way through to like advisors, asset managers, people in media and communications, like everyone's looking for insights into their data. And so I think part of it is the organization of the data. So one is your sources. Now more than ever, I think people are also hungry for trusted sources. So where is not just noise, but meaningful data that they can rely on. And especially I think in the financial services industry, that trust is so important for your end users, for your internal users. So you need trusted sources of data. And then you need to, what I like to refer to is knowledge bases. It's not just about like a data store or a data lake, it's about a knowledge base. So this is a knowledge base, which is a collection of trusted sources whether it's private client data, whether it's market data, whether it's documents, whether it's data feeds, APIs, whatnot. You need to almost, again, kind of create a knowledge base that is very purposeful. So it's deliberate. And then continue to build out essentially your library of knowledge bases, and then really understand how to find the right tools to help you derive insights from there and use and leverage your data. But ultimately, it comes down to those knowledge bases as well. So it's not just data, because I don't think humans aren't that good at taking vast quantities of data and then suddenly coming up with something out of it.
Really, really fascinating insight. I think trusted sources perhaps being the key words you've identified.
I would
there.
absolutely say that.
Some other key words that I hear people talking about a lot is purpose at scale. Would you say that the real world impact is still at the forefront of conversations at the moment? What do you think about that?
I would say that I think, again, looking across our industry, but then even accumulation of all the industries and technology, there's a couple trends and things that we're all seeing at that scale. And part of it is how do you do more? How do you do better? And what are the tools that are right for that? So it's scale and how fast I need to move, what I can deploy, the maturity that I need, but then also the tool base and the efficiency that is expected as we all look to scale our businesses or ourselves. And so when we think about scale and scale across, that's not a unique business problem, right? Businesses, we all know, they need to be kind of on brand and brand focused. They need to be able to differentiate, and then they need cost leadership. And all that really speaks to is efficiency and scale. So when we think about scale, I think a lot of people are looking to the world of AI to help think, a trend, but it's certainly not going anywhere anytime soon. I think we can all say while it's not new, it still feels very young. And there are different types of AI. And so we're helping to sit down with and having conversations with clients around that. So some examples, deterministic AI, which is very thoughtful and deliberate and very mature, actually, when you look back to it, and a very complex series of decision trees that leads to a very dependable outcome, which can really help that scale problem. And it's not industry specific. That is something everyone needs, and that can come with help contextualizing information. It can help communications with clients, communications internally, and really taking, again, vast amounts of data and then making it very relatable in that scale. So deterministic. And then we know that, in the industry, everyone's kind of playing around with, and as across all industries, probabilistic AI as well, which I think, again, can be really powerful and really help scale, but there needs to be very different conversations around that. And how do you get the right blend so that it's compliant, so that it's reliable, you're using trusted sources, where you have knowledge bases. So I see that as one of the main drivers when people are talking about scale and kind of across the technological landscape, what do things look like?
It's going to be so interesting to see how things develop moving forwards, but fascinating hearing your insights. And can I just say, I love the energy as well and the passion. I can tell you're really passionate about the topic as well. Could talk to you all day, but unfortunately we can't, and you need to get back to the busy event, but just want to thank you, Yaela, for speaking with us. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.